Hey guys! All right, so I'm starting a new series. I'm going to show up daily. This is something that I'm challenging myself to do, but what I'm sharing with you are the questions that changed everything for my life. So what does that mean? For me, that meant these questions helped me live more intentionally so that I was actually not living on autopilot anymore. So today's question came up for me in a season where I felt like I was losing everything, like I didn't have support, and like just I couldn't. There was a lack of communication, and so specifically, what happened here? This question, first off, the question is, where am I at? So that's the question. That's a question that changed my life. Where am I at? And the background story on this one, so we were actually in our second year of marriage. And for those of you who don't know me, I married my high school sweetheart, so he'd always been a part of my life. But we were in our second year of marriage, and quite frankly, we thought it was falling apart. We thought we were done. We didn't think that we were going to make it. We couldn't see it eye to eye. And so we put ourselves into couples counseling. For the record, that was the first thing that we had agreed on, how much we hated couples counseling. I'm not knocking it. It wasn't great for us. And I'm grateful that like I said, the only thing that we agreed on was how much we hated couples counseling. But regardless, it did give us this really important tool. So one of the tools was when you're trying to communicate with your partner, really truly, when you're trying to communicate with anyone, asking like, hey, where are you at? And it gives that person just a moment to say, all right, where am I at? And to kind of do this self-assessment of like, well, I'm feeling frustrated because you do this or you don't do this, or well, I'm feeling, whatever it may be. And what I ended up realizing is that every time we did that exercise, it was how difficult it was to actually answer that question. Because I think for me, especially as a woman, like I'm really passionate, and especially when my marriage was on the line, it was like, where am I at? It was all the emotions were bubbling all at once. So to actually be able to put those into words that my partner could then understand, it was a really good exercise for myself. So where am I at? What I realized was it wasn't just this fantastic communication tool with others, but it was something that the more I asked myself that question, where am I at? I'm not just talking about physically, you're talking about emotionally, mentally, spiritually, like where am I at? What's on my heart? What's on my mind? That the more I asked myself that, the more I started to get really familiar with the adjectives that I was using, the emotions. I could name them. And when I could name how I was feeling, it completely reframed and helped me figure out how I was actually going to answer those questions. So I just want you to try this week. Or actually, before I go that way, this is a question I ask myself every single day since. So my husband and I, we've been married 11 years, I think now at this point. Especially when I was going through any season of change, this question was always at the center of it. Where am I at? It'd be like, oh, I have this stirring that I need to do something else, or oh, I'm missing out on time with the kids, or oh, I'm longing for something else. So ask yourself this question, even just 3 times this week. See what pops up for you. And I guarantee you what's going to happen is, number 1, you're going to start understanding yourself a little bit better. Number 2, it's going to change the way that you are able to effectively communicate with others, especially in your intimate relationships. It will change the way that you are communicating. So these aren't just questions. This whole series, it's not just questions that changed my life, okay? Like these are the questions that I really think, and I've noticed that we tend to avoid until we actually want to hear the answers. So you don't have to solve it today. Like I said, just notice what comes up for you. Let it change your communication style. Let it change the way that you connect with yourself and with others. And if you want any support, turning these like whispers or like this, working this out into like clear and grounded next steps forward, the permission to change activation might be for you. So I'll include those notes in the description. But until tomorrow, let's go. Bye.